all the way up, he doesn't go so
Testing. So
Good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
I've just lost my ears. That is very loud for me.
It needs to be at top.
Really?
So turn down your mic.
Which mic?
Your number 2.
2. Okay. That's better. Yep.
There we go.
Still echoey, but better.
Yeah, no, we're going to hear echo. Remember, we used to do this with the mics anyway.
We did, yeah. This is weird.
It's nice. Okay, so for anyone watching on Instagram, we've got no one now, but maybe in the future.
Yep.
Hey,
Hey guys.
this is for you guys. Anyone listening now, we've got no one for. Okay, so this is for anybody who comes in the future.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm Harry.
I'm Matt. Welcome to 3TO, this, that, the other. Sorry I didn't do my normal intro. We have a new system and it's a little bit different and I'm kind of adjusting to it. So that's why I didn't do my normal enthusiastic hello. So I do apologize for that.
I think it's really cool.
It is very cool. It's got a lot of colors, which is making me epileptic.
Buddy, no. Okay. And here's the thing: you are also peaking, so bring.
Oh, look at that! We haven't even started yet, and I'm already at my peak.
Then shut up. So I think we need to try and keep on those levels. See the white line? That's where you want to be perfect.
Which white line? Oh yeah, I see them. Yep.
See how you're always going over it?
I'm number.
You're number 4.
Number 4.
Yep.
So we have to stay under.
To keep a general idea, our voices vary, but that's how it works. So we're human. Anyway, nonetheless, we've got a new.
Hold it like this now. I'm gonna hold it like this. Even here, For anyone watching, that's still a distance away, and I'm only now cracking peak performance.
You're cracking perfect performance.
Oh, thank you.
As long as you
I strive for the best.
see how it's going red. At that point, that's going to be a pain for Jamie. Oh, god damn it. So then you go into here, you go to levels, and you take yourself down. Good god. Matt, you're about here. We need you out of here.
Yep. This is weird.
But nonetheless, so new system, cool new stuff for the studio,
Yes,
actually.
We have new equipment, and it is really cool. It feels
I
weird
like it.
talking like this because I can't hear myself, but I can see that I'm like perfect thing, so I'm just going to hold it down like here. And yeah.
You can still go a little over it. It's just a case of don't go into the red. That's kind of just basic levels when you're talking about this kind of stuff anyway.
Just don't go red. Cool. So how have you been?
I've actually, I've been here and there.
Here and there? Why here and there?
Insomnia is getting worse, honestly. Oops, sorry.
No, that's my fault. I didn't realize there was part of the desk. We need to get a bigger desk, I reckon.
Depends on the size of the studio first.
Okay, true, but I think we need to get a better desk.
Yeah. Nonetheless, this is still better than what we originally had. We originally came in with my grandma's glass smoking table. Seriously,
yeah, we did.
It was a tiny little desk, and then off to the side you had like a patio table. And at my grandma's farm, they had that same table out the back, and that's where my dad would smoke. So yeah, it was the same kind of thing. Now we have this nice
table. And now we have a nice pristine
wooden desk with this. It's all come together. This year's really going along well. I'm happy to be here, to be honest.
We're streaming. We've got potential two-way streaming because we have a camera up there, which for anyone who's not watching live stream, you can't see it anyway, and I'm not going to show you because it's a bitch to try and fiddle with the tripod and whatnot. But it's essentially right in front of us.
Do you remember one of the new rules for when we're on here?
No swearing?
Yeah.
I already said the B word.
Twice.
Oh, buddy. Oh, boy.
Oh, buddy, you done effed up.
Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure I can say that because I didn't actually swear. I'll have to check later.
Let's circle the yes for swearing. How long have we been even record? Okay, 4 minutes. It's not that bad.
Kind of 3 minutes because it was a minute before we actually started on, I think.
Yeah, well, compared to the 30 seconds it was one show. We were 30 seconds in.
We did that 2 times in a row. The first one, you started swearing, I think, 5 minutes into it. The second one, you said something I told you to F off about a minute into it.
Yep, that's
about
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so where were we? Oh, yeah, weeks. Insomnia. Yeah, so that's been getting worse. So hence why kind of been buggered here and there, yada, yada. One of the good things... Ooh, nice coffee.
It's caramel.
They would have said that on the packet.
You're
stupid.
It's Old Town White Coffee.
Stupid.
I didn't actually read it. I just saw coffee and I'm like, okay, I'm making coffee.
Coffee, done.
That's actually, it's nice. It's smooth. Solid.
What was I going to say? Because I am actually excited to talk about this. I'm very happy. Did you see my streak last night?
Parasite?
Nope. New stereo.
Yeah.
I'm
I did
happy.
see that. Yeah. So you can now Bluetooth stuff.
And okay, here's the thing, because I've been waiting for probably 3 weeks for the parts to come in. Yep. Weren't sure if they were the right parts. My mate Blake came around. Thank you, Blake. He came around to my place with his tool bag and everything. Got everything we needed.
Just a handyman.
Yeah. And it was literally a case of oh God, he starts ripping out the trim. And I thought he was going to snap it because there was a bolt he wasn't aware of. And then we look up a video and go, no. But nonetheless, once we got it in, it also kind of ups how much the speakers can go in the first place.
Hey, that's pretty good.
We put it on high bass and turned it up to 62, highest it can go, and the roof was shaking.
Cool.
Hello?
Restart to install Windows 10 update.
Oh, piss off. Snooze. Snooze. Oh my God, if that happens now.
Yeah, because we just got a pop up to say Windows 10 needs updating, and we're like, does this like destroy the system?
It would.
Yeah. Oh, we'd still just be able to we'd stream this, and that would be it, but we'd have nothing audio wise. yeah, no.
Yeah, but nonetheless, I was gonna say, so yeah, that's been me. I'm very happy I finally
I'm
have that.
glad. I am glad. I
Um,
know you've been wanting it for a while, so I am glad
Yeah.
that you have it, which is pretty cool.
even coming here, again, we tweaked the settings last night, so I still need to go into it myself. But basically, the bass is still up, not as high, but it's still up.
Yeah.
Driving here, I finally looked at my rearview mirror, and it was shaking so much that it moved up.
Oh, damn. Damn,
So
okay.
I'm very happy. I've got a nice loudspeaker system now.
Solid.
Would put in subwoofers, but I don't want to put any more money into the car.
Doof,
I am
doof,
going to
doof.
sell it at some point.
Doof, doof, doof.
How's your week been?
What did I even do this week? I don't even remember.
Dude,
Dude, my memory lately has just been really bad. Like, I don't remember certain things, and I really should. I don't know if I'm.
tell me your name.
Is it Max?
Mad Max. That'd
Mad
fit.
Max. Well, my
Considering you put
username
Mad
is
Matt, yeah.
Mad Matt. No, but like I do remember some things I did this week, but just looking back at certain elements of the last couple of months or whatever, I don't remember certain parts, and that's not good. Like, I don't know why.
Depends on what sticks out. Like, you're not going to remember every single
Oh
day.
yeah, I know, but like I should be able to have a decent recollection of the last 3 months, given we're only 3 months into the year. I should be able to have a decent recollection
I
of that.
can't remember the last 3 months, so
Yeah, but it's
you're just talking to me.
yeah,
Preaching to the choir, buddy.
oh yeah,
be
my
okay.
memory is getting bad. What did I do? I went
You're
to
20.
I know, I went
Your
to,
memory's not allowed to be that bad.
yeah, like I went to Murdoch University on a Thursday, which was pretty cool. What did I do Wednesday? Wednesday I was here in the studio, and then I went to a place in Northwood called Varsity for burgers,
think
which
I've
was
heard of that.
really good.
Oh,
I'll
nice.
take you one night.
Oh, thank you.
It is
Oh,
actually.
sweetie, thanks.
You're welcome. It'll be our date night.
Shouldn't have.
That was actually really nice. Tuesday, I don't remember. Monday, I don't remember. So yeah, that's my week. And then yesterday, I don't remember.
Probably wasn't important then. Kind of how I'd take it, or it will come back to you. It will. You'll be okay, buddy.
Oh man, I
You'll
don't
be
remember what I did
okay.
yesterday. I know I had D&D, and that I think I'm still trying to
Oh.
reel from what happened.
Baba.
Yeah. So my character died, and I was okay creating a new character, but it meant I wouldn't be the father-esque of Bubba and the Kittens.
You wouldn't be
But-
you anymore.
Yeah, but due to other actions, they're now gone. Well, most of our party died last night, and yeah, I'm still trying to process that. Like, I've had Bubba since
Yeah.
midway through last year, and yeah. Anyway,
You can
Would-
come pet
would-
Bella sometime if you want.
yeah. But anyway, we are 10 minutes in. I don't want to keep talking about this because I will probably get emotional, and I don't want to,
Buddy.
even though it's a D&D cat. But
It means something to you. Doesn't matter what it is.
yeah. But anyway, we're 10 minutes in. We should probably do you want to go a quick break, and then we'll get into our proper segment for today, or
We'll catch you guys later.
but we will actually say what we're doing today. So we're going to be reviewing and talk about Altered Carbon Season 1 and 2. Season 2 has just hit Netflix, a week ago now? A week since it's come out? About a week ago since Altered Carbon
Came out
Season
since
2.
our last episode, roughly.
I binge watched it the day before last week's episode because I enjoyed it for the most part. There are some parts I'm like, eh. And then we also want to talk about neural implants and benefits and
Kind of gone to the
pros-
possibilities of future tech,
pros
basically.
and cons of that. And we'll get right into that after the break, really.
All right, we'll be back in just a little bit, guys.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. So, are we ready to get into today's topic?
We came back
Altered carbon.
at 19 minutes, just to note, for Jamie's sake.
That was okay. We came back at 19 minutes. Cool.
We went on a long break. Okay,
Yeah.
nonetheless, we're back, people, and yeah, altered carbon. So, do you want to give your
we'll
thoughts
start with,
first or mine?
Do you want to go with season 1 first?
Yeah.
All right. Season 1, Altered Carbon, came out in 2018. Essentially, we have been able to condense the human consciousness into a little device called a stack, and that goes in the back of your spine, back of your neck, in your spine. And essentially, the human body is a as
Sleeve.
it's called in there, a sleeve. And so, if your body or whatever gets shot to high hell, and that's still intact, you can put that into a new body. And the uber wealthy and rich can have multiple bodies like backups.
Well, that's the thing. Like, at this point in the universe, nobody is scared of dying because, like, they even call it real death.
Yeah, real death
So,
is
like-
when you get shot in the stack or your stack is destroyed.
Yeah, and so that's the thing. Like, even regular people are fine. It's just a case of suddenly human bodies become a commodity.
Yeah.
And so, like, you can have a little girl who was killed, her body, and she's just re-sleeved, as they call it, into some old woman's body because that's all they had available,
Yeah.
considering they couldn't afford anything. They even talk about things like sleeve renting.
Yeah, like you rent.
Like you rent out a sleeve,
You
because
rent
that's
a
the
body.
thing.
It's pretty.
Because you have to
messed
pay a
up.
mortgage on it.
Yeah.
For some people, if it's your birth sleeve, you're fine. But otherwise, or for instance, they bring in what's called spinning up and spinning down. So if you're just your stack, you're not a person, and they keep you on ice.
Yeah.
And
So
so
they
what can happen?
Pretty much just put you in the cupboard until a body comes ready for you. Really.
Yeah, and that's the thing. People will spin up dead relatives for holidays.
Yeah.
Now
It's pretty messed up, really.
It is, but that's the thing. That's what happens when you grasp the concept of immortality. And again, like you said, the uber rich and wealthy, called meths. I don't know why, but they're
I think
called
they do
meths.
explain it.
They do
do explain it,
faintly
but,
for like a second, and then it's like, huh, what? I missed that.
And there's just
Yeah.
every rich mother beep is a meth,
Mm.
pretty much.
And so basically, again, it's the idea of what if you had 3 lifetimes to save everything you had? What if Donald Trump lived 5 lifetimes? How rich would he be? Yes, I know it's Trump, but still.
I was just thinking, if he lived that long, how long would he be president for? Like, would he just stay this forward?
Someone would shoot him in the
term?
stack eventually.
Oh, they'd have to.
Yeah. Okay, but that's the thing, because it was also interesting because they then also even went into stuff like religion.
The Meths are pretty much the new gods. 'Cause
Yeah.
they've been around for hundreds of years.
Well,
and
that's one way to look at it, because you have the concept of classic kind of Catholicism. They don't call it Catholicism, but they pretty much say, oh, Catholics. You have people praying, and they believe you should die when you die.
yeah,
They can't be spun up. That's a big thing in the first season.
it is.
And then, you look at meths, and some people hate them, but some people love them because, if you have someone who lives forever, it's like the modern age version of a god.
Yeah, pretty much. Because
Yeah.
people born within the 300-400 year period that they're still alive, that's all they've known is someone that's been alive for ages. They're going to be taught that they're the elite of the society. They're the rulers, not actual God like Jesus or whatever, because, well, it wouldn't be taught as he's the
As much.
God. He's the guy that created us, because the person who created the stacks would be seen more as the founder kind of thing, like new founding
But,
father to an extent. But that's not how.
Let's not get into that.
That's not how
That's
it's
a whole
kind of
other thing.
seen
Yeah.
in it, but it can be perceived as that.
Nonetheless, it does. Basically, what I really like about the series is that it brings up a whole new concept for the cyberpunk genre. It's not a case of just
Yeah.
augmenting the body. It's a fact of the body is an augment now.
Yeah.
What I found interesting in the first season was, they did all that. They went into religion. They even looked at, they just went into the future, and they did something as simple as, say, drugs. Like, for instance, the drug Reaper makes you experience the closest thing to death.
And the way drugs are taken in this
Eye drops.
eye drops, yeah. So
Well, that's one way.
one way that is, that's the predominant way that it's shown is
Yeah,
through
that's
eye
what they show,
drops,
yeah.
which is
an interesting concept.
Yeah, like, so I would assume it would go straight to your head then. It wouldn't be digested or waiting for the effects to travel from your stomach after it's been adjusted to your brain. It
Basically.
would be straight into your head.
But then I was also going to say it's still things like, so obviously, and to be clear, people aren't just ready to die in their bodies. They still want to keep them, unless they're rich and wealthy, because again, you have to pay for a new sleeve. You have to pay for the damages.
Yeah.
It's like owning a car. Like
Yeah,
a body is like owning a car or a house. You don't want to wreck it because, yeah, you can buy another one, but how much is it going to cost you?
Yeah,
Plus,
exactly.
once you are down, once your body dies, you have no control over the matter. Someone else has to say they
Yeah.
want to come back up.
Yeah.
They'll bring them up, and then you have to pay off the debt if you agree to stay up.
Yeah, pretty much.
But nonetheless, so yeah, it's a really cool concept. The story in of itself is good to an extent.
It's not a groundbreaking story. It's not like, oh my god, this is incredible.
It's
like,
interesting.
It is interesting, but I think it's more the world that the story is set in that really fleshes it out and makes it unique.
The world building is really bloody good,
It
and there's a lot to expand on.
emphasis on the bloody.
Yeah.
It has the violence is.
The first season was basically R-rated.
Yeah, the first.
Just because there was so much blood and gore, and then there was also so much sex.
Yeah, it was very explicit what they showed, and I heard the showrunners for Netflix showrunners. No, the Netflix executives were like, "Yeah, you really pushed the envelope on that season.
Yeah.
We're not letting you pretty much do that for the second season." Which,
And
if you do watch the
so
second season, it's nowhere near as sexually explicit.
there's one sex scene I've seen so far.
Yeah, they do keep the violence, which
To
is
an
good.
extent.
To an extent, it is still quite like the violence that you do see. It is still quite like brutal, which is good. I'm glad they haven't changed that because I think it's because it's a new world. It's Harlem's world compared to wherever they are in the first season.
So season 2.
Season 2, yeah, let's go. We haven't even told you the story, and we're not going to because you're gonna watch the damn show. We're going to get you so interested in the world building that you're going to watch it and you're going to enjoy it and find out for yourself.
I will say season 2 I haven't been a fan.
Okay, I binge watched season 2 in a day. The main character, I think, is... Okay, there is an AI in the first season called Poe, and he looks after an AI hotel, pretty much. And he's in season 2, and arguably his acting is, like... far more superior than the main actor Anthony Mackie, who is Falcon.
Yeah.
In, the Marvel universe.
Falconer.
Yeah.
Falconer.
Yeah. Now that you bring that up,
Falcon in her.
and that happens. Yeah. That's. Watch the show. You'll enjoy it. It genuinely is worth watching.
It is
if you're.
Okay, can I say?
Yeah, go ahead.
First season, loved it. Thought it was really good. I still stand the
first season is where it peaked. I think. The first season is arguably the best one. It is based on books as well.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
there's
damn. Okay,
4
there you go.
books.
Noted.
I don't know if Netflix is greenlit a season 3, but they tied it up in a way that if they don't, it's ended nicely. But if they do, it's still open that they can go forward on a season 3. I hope they do a season 3.
Same.
I
want to see it go further.
Yeah, I don't think the budget was to the extent of the first season. The first season's budget was 70 million.
Okay, I wouldn't think it was that high, but it still seemed pretty high just looking at it.
Yeah, it was 7 million per episode in season 1.
This I would say maybe 4 to 6 million.
I think it's a bit less. There's only 8 episodes in season 2 compared to season 1, in which it's had 10, and the episodes are shorter in season 2, which I wasn't a fan of. I was actually quite disappointed that they're lower. Yes.
Can I go on a small rant?
Please, by all means.
Okay, so season 2. Now, I still stand there. One of my only problems with the series is the fact that you have multiple actors playing the same character. And whilst that can work out really well if the actor has range, it also can't, because the thing is, in the world, you have the same person going into different bodies. And that is completely different, because an actor playing the same person is still going to be a different person, because it's not a case of they are that person, they're pretending to be that person. Yeah. So there's still going to be something different about them. Even facial expressions should be similar between characters, because think of who you are and the face you make when you're angry, sad, happy, whatever, and you're still going to try to contract the same muscles in the same way.
Yeah.
The problem with that is the main character named
Takeshi.
Takeshi Kovacs.
Did you watch it with subtitles?
Yes.
Do you know that's well?
Yeah.
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 I don't like it. It's Kovacs.
I thought it'd be Kovacs, but again, that's just how it's spelled.
Yeah.
Kovacs. But yeah, nonetheless. And so, for instance, in the series, he's played by 3 different actors so far.
Joel Kinnaman, Anthony Mackie, and I'm not sure the other guy's
The
name.
one who plays the original him.
Yes, I'm not sure his name.
Nonetheless, they're all different.
Yeah, they all
Even-
bring... I think Joel Kinnaman is the best one.
Was the best one. Yeah, I agree.
Especially because when the original one comes in for season 2, his acting is vastly different compared to it is in season 1, but
He's a different person.
there was a reason for that because
Yeah.
he's kind
Wait,
of
say it?
suspended
Well, yeah.
time kind of thing.
Okay, here's the thing. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead and say what you got to say.
You can also, because it also brings in more fact that you can copy what's called a DHF, so it's your stack, it's
Yeah.
your person. You can copy that, download it somewhere else. So you can have 2 of one people. It's technically illegal, but you can re-sleeve someone, double sleeving, so you can
Yeah.
have 2 of the same person.
Which is one of the...
They explored it in the first one.
villain-esque in the first season set of twins that have
Well, he's called Dimmy the Twin.
Dimmy the Twin, yeah, and it's essentially double sleeving.
Yeah.
Which is illegal.
So that's the thing. Like, even then, you're looking at the fact that you can have a room of you if you really wanted, and some meths would.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that meths also then have, some meths will have maybe 100 clones of their original body so that their minds don't go nuts when they re-sleeve into too many different
they
bodies.
have,
Does happen.
There was it.
It's called P-Frag.
Yeah, no, what am I thinking of? It's the satellite backup. Like their stack gets backed up every, I think, 24 hours, I think
48
it is.
hours.
Every 48 hours. It's hectic. Like,
That's the thing. It's crazy. The world building is incredible.
yes.
And there's so
really
much to tell. And that's why I'm disappointed in season 2, because I feel like, okay, on my actor rant, I don't think Anthony Mackie did a good job as Takeshi Kovacs.
One thing I will say about Anthony Mackie, he is ripped. Because you don't see him
Okay,
shirtless
here's the thing.
in any of the Marvel movies. So to see him shirtless in Altered Carbon, and I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa. Like, whether that's for Altered Carbon or for just the Marvel movies in general, he is built. Like, yeah.
Well, considering the Marvel movies rolled up every actor, yeah.
Yeah, but like,
Damn,
he's...
Here's
yeah.
the thing. When you originally said that, because we did speak out about this a little bit on the original, on last week's episode. I thought you meant he'd be like Dorito ripped, so, like really toned and everything. No, he is bulk ripped.
Yeah.
Like he's not fat or anything.
He's big.
But, for instance, he doesn't have a 6-pack. He has a solid as core.
Yeah.
Like his biceps are huge.
He's quite the gun in...
It was nice.
But yeah, he's quite the rig in season 2.
So there's that. But here's the thing. Anthony Mackie puts so much of his own personality into just the roles he plays, and you can't do that in the series. Because, like, the way he smiled, he had that Anthony Mackie smile, that real sweet thing he does.
Yeah.
So he had that, or the way he tries to look concerned. It's all Anthony Mackie. All I could see was Anthony Mackie. I didn't see it as Takeshi Kovacs. I saw it as
opposed
Mackie.
to Joel Kinnaman's.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because again, there is an evil twin Takeshi Kovacs in season 2. I saw him more as the original than I saw Anthony.
Yeah.
He just seemed like the main character. He didn't seem like Takeshi to me.
Poe is the true star of season 2. I think his story arc.
He didn't get enough screen time though.
I know, but like his
I
story
wanted to
arc
see so much more. It was good though, yeah.
makes me tear up at a few moments. Like it's genuinely heartbreaking, but it does have a nice ending.
I still haven't watched the last 2 episodes, so I will
good,
admit I am kind of behind.
there were certain moments in it where it's genuinely. I wanted to tear up for the stuff that Poe goes through, and oh man,
It's impressive, and that's the
Yeah.
thing, because
he's such a good actor
He
in season
is.
2. Better than I think most of the characters in season 2.
Mm.
I'm glad that they brought back some of the original ones though for the Circle.
Yes.
As really messed up as the reason why they bring them back, they did bring them back. Okay, one thing I did like was when they're fighting when Kel comes in and they see her blood and she's like, she's organic.
Yeah.
And then the guards shoot what they think is it, and
It's
just
synth.
covered in blue blood. And the guy's like, "Does this look organic to you?" And the guards are like, I'm
Yeah.
like,
I remember that.
blue blood and red blood are
They were just like,
significant.
oh, whoops.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
just
The blue blood is luminescent too.
Yeah, I'm just thinking
It glows a bit.
stormtroopers, like,
Yeah.
you stuffed up that banner and they're like, oh, whoops. Like,
Mm.
blue blood, yeah, it's fluorescent
Um,
blue. It's not dark blue or anything.
Okay, here's the thing. My second gripe about season 2, apart from storytelling methods, which I'd have to rewatch to pick out specific notes, but it's also kind of the world building of season 2 isn't as good. I feel like because for instance, they got rid of the whole idea of religion. That's
I
basically
think it's more lore heavier in season 2, personally, in terms of like in terms of the history kind of lore.
looking at the aliens and elders.
one.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
and stuff.
They specifically focused on that and not the world. They basically said, all right, what's some of the history, and didn't focus on the main characters and who was actually there. They also, it was a case of meths felt like nothing in season 2.
Yeah.
In the original, meths live in skyscrapers that are above the clouds.
Literally
They-
above the clouds, yeah.
They live in heaven,
Yeah,
essentially.
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah,
And in
in
this one, it's...
season 2, you have a meth who hires Takeshi, re-sleeves him, and Takeshi gets out and says, oh wow, everyone is dead, including the meth, who are meant to be unkillable. Oh wow, I'll just go meet 2 other meths in a dive bar.
Yeah,
Get drugged
and
up
they
with
even-
them, and they die.
And they even go to the meth there goes to a civilian needle cast place as well. Like,
Yeah.
the other one would never go that low.
I understand it's the fact that, they're going through a single point because it's Harlan's world.
Yeah.
But it's still a case of meths felt so inferior. They felt so low ground. And I mean, yes, talking realistically, okay, good.
Yeah.
But I mean, talking from the perspective of the show, it's just wrong.
Significance anymore.
Yeah.
They're not.
They just seem like regular ass politics.
Yeah. Okay.
Politicians, sorry.
You know Carrera?
Yes. Jaeger.
Jaeger. I picked that up as soon as he comes on screen.
Yeah,
I knew
same.
exactly who it was, but they don't reveal it.
It was
to
so
Takeshi
obvious.
until episode 3. I'm like, anyone who's watched the first season and goes straight to season 2 will know it's him straight
It's
away.
Jaeger, yeah.
Even though it's a different actor, you can just see it is it's
Well,
him.
he had similar mannerisms. We didn't get to see much of Jaeger in the first one, though. So we just saw that he was
no, we
a tight-ass soldier.
Yeah.
Carrera, the actor who plays him, definitely went on that tight-ass
Yeah.
regime. And so he got that, but he kind of had an easy role to fill. Nonetheless, the way he played it was good.
Oh, God, yeah.
Also, I thought Carrera was hot.
He's big.
Okay,
He did
another
have
thing.
emotion as well.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Like when the prisoners get fireworked, he was genuinely.
I
Like,
loved that one. Like, I know it's a
kinda-
sick scene, but I thought it was really
was-
cool to see, and I thought
wasn't
it showed some of the
overly
other characters.
surprised, really, like
I didn't think they strapped them to the rockets, I'll be honest with you.
yeah.
Okay, so basically, one of the things that happens in season 2, the main governor of Harlan's world, Miss Harlan,
She's such a.
oh yeah, I hate her
Oh my
in
god.
season 2. Trust me, you will too.
Okay, despite how much of an
Can I quickly
absolute
say?
twitch she is, she
Yeah.
has a good body.
Yeah.
All right, carry on.
I'll
Sorry.
take Carrera over her, but I can agree with
Fair
you.
enough. Yeah.
Okay. Plus, we also need to go on break. So I will just quickly say one of the things that happened in season 2, Carrera's trying to interrogate prisoners who will give up secrets she has. So what she does, by order of law, she takes them away from him, and he finds them strapped behind rockets that they use. They shoot up into the sky, get blown out by satellites, and turn into fireworks.
Yep. They become entertainment for everyone, and we're gonna leave the people who are listening through audio with that.
All right. Catch you guys in a bit.
Yep. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Satan's child. Oh, he disappeared. Hi guys, we're back.
And we're back, same as always. You want to record the time? So 43.
Yes, recording time.
Cool.
43 minutes. Cool.
Nonetheless, we're back, guys. And so, yeah, honestly, there's probably a lot more we could
Hi,
say
Sam.
about Altered Carbon.
Sam.
Sam.
Sam
I
is our
think I
loyal
know her.
watcher. She watches.
Come
She
on.
listens and watches all of our stuff. So
Thank you.
Sam is the real MVP, and she is a really cool Minecraft cartographer as well.
Oh, really?
She will get that.
Minecraft. Nice.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, so we could talk a lot more
There's
about Altered
a
Carbon.
lot more we could go into, but we want you guys to watch the show. Watch
Yeah,
Altered Carbon.
essentially.
Let us know your thoughts. And
Watch it. Watch
yeah,
it.
fucking watch it. Mwah.
Wait, you just swore again. We can't
Oh
swear
god damn it, we
on
can't
this.
swear. Oh bollocks.
Shnikes.
You just
Shnikes.
Snikes. Okay.
Shnikes, goddammit.
All right.
And goddammit, it's fine too.
Yeah.
I haven't sworn yet.
We're not
I'm
supposed to
being
swear.
good.
We've been trying not to swear.
I swear to God, we just killed the
Oh yeah,
the levels.
Yeah.
We would have just killed it.
Ouch.
Okay. Nonetheless,
Cyber augmentations.
because like Altered Carbon, we're kind of getting into it.
Yes.
So
Season 1, one of the main characters has a completely new cybernetic arm after her fleshy one. Let's just say fleshy arm is completely absolutely screwed.
it's buggered.
Yeah.
Or if you look at season 2, there you have people with magnetic arms, canine spliced DNA, that kind of thing. Which I don't think they touched on enough, but we're not talking about the series right now.
We're talking about.
Hit me with a question.
All right. If you could upgrade yourself in any manner aside from a cyber dick, what would you?
That was a joke, goddammit.
What would you get? Would you cut off a limb to replace it with a cyber one? Assuming the technology is better than it is now, and like it is genuinely Winter
Well, that's
Soldier-esque technology. Like it's.
Well, that's the thing. At that point, I could have proper wrists.
Would
for-
you cut off your Would you cut off your arm just to get that, or do you have an implant that would fix it?
Just quickly, for all who don't know, I am technically disabled. I can't twist my wrists any further than a downward position. I don't care. Doesn't affect me. But nonetheless,
It's
would...
not very handy.
Screw you. That's making fun of someone with a disability.
I think we've done that. A
I
few
can get
times
you...
on here,
Oh,
though.
yeah, we have.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's the thing. For that, for instance, one of the reasons I don't do it now is because the procedure is really dangerous.
Yeah.
Like, I could lose all feeling in my entire arm.
Yeah.
Like, if
Yeah.
they cut the wrong... Like, if they accidentally cut a nerve when doing the procedure, I wouldn't be able to use my arm from the bicep down. If it was to that point where I could... Here's the thing. Do you, like, as cool as it sounds to have a robot arm, to be Winter Soldier, also look at the Winter Soldier and look at how sad he seems when he looks at the fact that he just has this big metal arm. Look at the fact that it can be ripped off. Like, it can just be taken off. Personally...
Rocket Raccoon.
yeah.
Gonna get that arm.
Here's the thing. If I could do it so it's almost seamless and still looks human...
So pretty much Altered Carbon.
Yeah. If I could do it so that, yeah, I guess I might replace it. Because, yeah, again, then I'd be able to turn my hand around. It would also make drumming easier.
You could probably have it so your entire wrist just spins and rotates.
Don't think I'd want to do that, though. Because here's the thing.
Picture.
Yeah. But here's the thing, because I'd also... It could technically make me a better drummer instantly. What did Sam say?
Oh, okay. Gotta go. Have fun.
Oh, okay.
Bye, Sam. Bye, Sam.
Okay. But nonetheless, the biggest thing with me is the fact that I'm me. I is me. You is you.
You is you. I is me.
I've been on TikTok. Nonetheless,
Sorry.
it's that idea of could you get used to being different. Now, at this point, we're almost talking... We could look at the fact that some people have hearing aids.
Yes.
Do they get used to that?
Bionic limbs already.
Yeah. So, but that's the thing. They don't get to choose to do that. You're talking about choosing to do that. So if you ask those people, if you could have a natural working hand, even if it was, say, slightly buggered like my wrists, would you do it? Some would probably say yes. I don't know if it'd be the majority or the minority. But to me, I would prefer to have my natural limbs and my natural body over augmenting it.
Fair
Because
enough.
it just feels wrong. I like the idea of being me. I think it's a thing of getting around the shell shock or freaky bit of your body suddenly being different.
Mm.
Because
Yeah, because you're 19, I'm 20, so we've had our bodies for all that time, and to have something that would fundamentally change how it works, whether it be from being able to move your wrist properly to be able to do a whole 360 with your hand,
yeah,
it's different. It would take a lot to get used to.
if you lost a limb now and just had to put on a prosthetic, would you want to?
Yes.
Okay.
If
Now,
if it was a
I
leg,
mean,
yes.
okay, I mean prosthetic as in as far as I've gone right now. So you would be losing an extent of ability.
For the sake of this argument, let's just say it's my leg that is
Mhm.
lopped off for
Yep.
whatever reason. I wouldn't want a cybernetic one now, given the technology isn't quite there, but I would want a prosthetic.
Okay. What I'm saying is, so ultimately it comes down to the fact that if it wasn't as good as the leg you have, which prosthetics aren't to an extent, like there's still limits to them,
Yeah.
would you want it?
Yes.
Okay.
Because without it, it
No.
fundamentally
I mean, like, if you were given the option right now to lop off your leg,
to
the lower
replace
half
it.
of your leg from, say,
Replace it.
maybe calf down, and then put on a prosthetic, would you choose that?
No.
Okay. That's the argument I'm making, in
Okay.
that at this point, the whole question of changing your body comes down to the fact that it needs to do the same, actually probably not even the same, it needs to do more than the original body can.
Yeah.
And so it becomes a case of, are you willing to sacrifice what you already have for something that you're told is better? Do you feel you need better?
For the it's off topic, but it is on topic. My D&D game, because I'm a cyborg, one of my legs is made of tungsten steel and the other one is fleshy.
Mm.
If things had gone differently in last night's game and whatnot, I would have had my fleshy leg removed. I would have taken it off and replaced it with a cyber leg, just because my class is a rogue thief and whatever, so it makes sense to be the same. Like having one that's like a ton and the other one's that's flesh and blood. I'd want to remove that and have both equal, or if given the opportunity, remove the cyber one and have the fleshy one put back. So they're both equal.
Well, here's the thing. At that point, you also start to talk about the fact of how much you're replacing. At what point do you draw the line between human and not human? Because, for instance, Doom Patrol, you've watched a lot of that, yes?
Yes.
Cyborg in it.
Yeah.
Have you seen what happens to him?
The last episode I watched.
Oh, wait, there's 15 episodes. Okay, yeah.
I watched the episode after. What's his name? I forgot. The robot guy. I've forgotten his name. Cliff.
Robot Man? Yeah.
Cliff. After Cliff.
His superhero name is Robot Man.
After Cliff gets fixed, after the rat comes out. So the episode that he gets fixed.
Okay.
That's where I'm up to. I think that's
okay, you haven't seen what? Do you mind a slight spoiler?
Sure.
Okay. His nanites automatically start replacing his flesh with mechanics.
Oof.
Without him knowing.
Ooh, okay.
So that's the thing. He essentially goes from, say, around 40% robot
to
60%.
Yeah. Damn.
So that's the thing. And he was freaking out about that. At what point do you draw the line? Are you just a brain in a tin can? Do you need to be at least 50-50? Can you only have, say, limbs? Like, is it all about your mind? At what point do you draw the line between being who you are and something else? Are you because of everything down to your fingernails, or just because of what's going on up there? Sorry if I pricked you.
No, that's fine. No, because I was actually thinking about that, because Elon Musk, one of his companies is called Neuralink, and it's essentially a implant in your head that connects you to the internet, more or less. And it would be put inside your head with machine, because it's such a tiny operation, no human can actually do it. So they've designed a machine to do it.
Good, I wouldn't trust a human to do it.
Yeah, and then you've got a little receptor thing behind your ear for signals and whatever. Like I really do like the idea to be able to consume more knowledge through that,
Okay.
but the downsides of that would be tremendous because you'd have the potential of being hacked if you're doing, if like you would be for social media or whatever, you get hacked and your personal messages and whatever. But then no one really gives a crap about their privacy anyway. We say, oh my God, they know too much. Yet no one reads the terms and conditions at which we say what you post is no longer legally yours.
I'll be honest with you, at this point, it's a case of I've been through so much, like, even for, say, job applications, I've had to give up information for just creating accounts for this, that, and the other. Like, just creating anything these days requires you to sign some form of terms and conditions, which gives up a lot of who you are.
Yeah.
As my mom always goes on about it. I don't quite agree with her, but it's a case of she would never go to one of those DNA places that scan your ancestry. Because she's like, DNA is the last thing they don't have. They probably do because they have your medical records. Yeah. It's a case of, at this point, I believe, in terms of privacy, you do not quite own yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
I believe there's some exterior, at any time, maybe at some point you are fine, but you don't control how much of yourself is known.
Yeah,
you don't really have that much of a choice. Yeah. It's like, I've even seen TikTok memes about it where, ooh, searching the dark web. Ooh, seeing people are for sale. Ooh, seeing you're for sale. Ooh, same day delivery. It's like, it's a joke, but that's the thing.
Yeah, I know.
Like, you don't know how much is going on in the world. Yeah. And so, whilst I don't think I'm about to be sold, I think there are other companies or people with ulterior interests who know more about me than I would like them to. And I don't think I have control over that at this point. Nonetheless, like you were saying about getting hacked, mind-wise.
Yeah, because it wouldn't just be, oh, your messages or nudes or whatever got leaked. It's they can see your thoughts, they can see your desires, your secrets, everything, because it's a neural hack.
And then, that's really dangerous.
Yeah, because they can essentially shut down your entire body if they wanted to. But at the same time, the benefits of being able to, like, I wouldn't get it for social media. That's not something I would get it for.
You'd get it to learn something.
I would get it for information intake. So, like, to be able to learn a language in a matter of weeks as opposed to it would be a year or a couple of months.
You take university courses to learn languages fluently.
Yeah, I would use it for educational purposes and whatnot. And
hell, even if you could go to the point where it could stimulate muscle memory, if possibly, I'd do that so I could learn to draw art.
Yeah, but like stuff like that is what I would use it for. And I have seen the announcement thing for Neuralink, and I've seen it, and honestly, I wouldn't mind having it done. If given the opportunity, which I doubt is going to ever happen, but if presented with the opportunity and knowing it was like there was nothing going to be wrong with it.
I feel like it would be okay at this point because it's so niche that it would be hard for anyone to do anything wrong to you unless it was the company itself. Yeah. And so again, for instance, with this, you would really want to read the terms and conditions.
Oh God, yeah. Exactly.
But also, just on a quick note about, people getting private information about you, that's also one of the things. Say for basic content that you need, for instance, if you really wanted this, say you desperately needed it and the terms and conditions said they can use your thoughts for surveys, you can't say no to that. It's not like you can bargain with them. You just have to accept it if you really want it. And that's the same thing with a lot of products today. So it's like, if you really want it, you have no choice.
Yeah.
Now, another thing I would like to bring up, that brings up the question, is it wrong to cybernetically augment yourself then? Because at that point, for instance, if we talk back to, remember how I said if I had robotic arms, how it would make me a better drummer? Sort of. But it would definitely help. And I would love that because I love playing drums, even if I'm not particularly good, and play it as a hobby.
The main downside I see for augmenting yourself cyberly is weapon-wise. Like the army it'd be cyborg soldiers without a doubt. If the fact that the technology would exist, the army would be foaming at the mouth to get their hands on it, or lack thereof, depending on what they have.
Yeah.
But Like that's one massive downside I see already. That
Not even military. Depending on how far it goes, you even look into street criminals, doing that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You look at a cyberpunk, like, if cybernetics become possible, there's a high possibility of the classic cyberpunk dystopia.
Yeah.
Like, that's wholly and solely possible when you get to that point. What I'm saying is, look at it from another standpoint. What about the people who train years? Like, right now, I want to be an artist. It is so hard to find a course for it from the very start. It is so hard to get started on it. But once you do, it could take up to 10 years for me to be at a professional level. Versus someone who cybernetically augments their arms and can suddenly draw after, let's say maybe a year of, therapy for getting used to it. And so suddenly, again, ultimately with that field, you're judged by your own creativity. But what about other fields? What about people losing out work because they don't want to cybernetically augment themselves? Like, say, car manufacturers, instead of just getting a machine to do it, they have people who can do it. What about miners? What happens when the bosses say, to work here, you must get a cybernetic augment, and then send them into life-threatening places?
Capable now of
or even if they're not capable.
Yeah.
What if you then look into the ethics of doing it? Is it even safe? Because they could say, oh, you have these cybernetic augments, you're safe to go into that mine, and they actually die, and they just sweep it under the rug.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You're then looking at those possibilities, and you're also looking at the fact that suddenly it becomes a thing of you don't even get to choose to become augmented. You have to keep up with everyone else.
Yeah. I just had a thought. You know how if you don't have like healthcare cards or anything like that, and you go to the doctors and it's expensive, you'd have to go to like specialists for your augments.
Hence why it's nice to be in Australia. Free healthcare,
That would
boy!
Ridiculous amounts of money to like, especially if like a neural link or whatever, because it's in your brain that would require what?
You swore.
What did I say?
You said especially effing yada yada.
Oh, wow. Don't even notice it anymore. It was just really bad. But no, it would cost ridiculous amounts of money, especially for the augmented one, like the neural one, because it would be technically brain surgery to fix yourself.
Yeah, that's the thing. It could be a regular checkup or something that you're just trying to make sure you're a little bit better, but it suddenly costs all of that.
How would updates work? Would it have to be they literally shut down your entire nervous system and put you to sleep automatically?
Exactly. Do you know that it all depends on the
would they
augment?
inform you that you're having an update?
Windows updates, you don't get a choice.
Well, they tell you, but then you have the
They
option
tell
for
you, but
snooze and whatnot, but it still happens regardless at some point.
at some point it will go on, because that's the thing. For instance, with Windows updates, the reason it is like this, just a quick note, because I did IT in high school. Updates are important for your computers. They fix a lot of things, but a lot of people put them off because they're like, oh, I'll update it later.
It's annoying, yeah.
Yeah. But it needs to happen. That's
Yeah.
why you could get Windows 10 for free if you accepted the automatic updates. That's not to screw you over. That's so that the system is up to fully run, whether you accept it or not.
Phone, like the amount of people I've seen, like who use their phone or whatever, and they get notifications for a phone update and they don't do it. I'm like, it annoys the absolute hell out of me, because I'm like,
Yeah.
It fixes your phone. Do it. Like I would.
I can understand not doing it if you're like out at a public place or whatever, but the second I get home, like I see it pop up and I go, okay, doing
Yeah,
it.
same with all of my apps. If like it needs an update, I'll do the update with my PlayStation, Xbox updates.
It takes 10 minutes
The
usually.
only updates I don't necessarily do is the actual game updates, because I don't play online, because I don't have internet at home, so it doesn't really matter. But the system updates, those ones I do. The Xbox One had a system update recently, and it completely redesigned the layout of the entire menus.
The UI?
Yeah, the UI. It completely revamped it, and it
Case in point.
It's very nice.
And so how would you accept that with a neural link?
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Then
blink once for yes, blink twice for no.
Well, here's the thing. Even then, suddenly you have someone else controlling part of what you think. So suddenly, say they do that. What if you go further and say have an augment in your eye so you can see it? You have altered reality.
Yeah.
Because that is a thing. Like you suddenly see screens in front of you, and you can get glasses now that do that.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: if suddenly you have that, that
then if
means
you
a
have-
third party is controlling part of what you perceive.
With the eye thing, is that a form of virtual reality? In which case, does
Yes.
the normal virtual reality, does that become does the virtual reality you perceive with your eye become the normal reality, and then actual virtual reality is virtual reality?
Okay.
What distinguishes normal reality to virtual reality with your cyber augments?
Okay. Well, here's the thing. Again, because we researched it a bit in IT, so just going off of what I can remember from 2 years ago when I did IT in high school, it is a thing of now you do have some glasses. They're not brilliant, but you can get them where you'll have notifications pop up in your vision. That is technically virtual reality. It's augmented reality is what it's called.
Yeah. It's the same. You can do it with the phone camera. You can have the augmented reality, and you have the little animations and stuff playing in your house. HoloLens was something that Microsoft
Yes,
was doing.
HoloLens, exactly.
Which I don't know what the hell happened to HoloLens. It looks like it just fell off the face of the earth. I haven't heard anything from it.
It's difficult.
Yeah, I know.
Mostly,
I think they
that's the
showed it
reason.
off at E3 4 years ago, and I haven't heard anything since. And I was very intrigued by their Minecraft.
It's a very hard system to do.
Yeah, definitely.
That's probably why I haven't heard from
Yeah.
them, because they've either quit or they're in deep research trying to fix it.
Yeah.
Um,
How long have we been up? Because we might be
yeah,
over.
good point.
We might be.
We might want to go into a break.
Hour and 4
um,
minutes. Do we want to go break, or do we
let me-
want to?
Let me see. How long have we been on? Yeah, we've been on for 20 minutes. We should take a quick break. We still want to talk about possibilities of cyber augments because there's still a lot to go on about.
Yes.
Nonetheless, we will be back in just a little bit,
Wonderful.
guys. Catch you later.
Bye. So,
And we're back, guys.
hi guys.
Okay, so you brought up a thing of, again, what would soldiers do? And again, it would probably be in their contract for some of them that they'd have to do it, or they wouldn't have the same position in the army. What if you could only be a general if you had a neural
Neural implant.
implant? Yeah. Here's something I'm saying. Right now, most things are superficial. Well, that's not the right word, but say, for instance, you can go to uni and you can study 3 different courses over maybe 10 or so years. And so I could study to be an artist, I could study to be a psychologist, and I could study to be, I don't know, a tradie or a laborer.
People who
What-
never. Oh, it's just something. Someone said to me. My DM said to me last night. Anyone who studies psych has probably got something wrong.
Who studies what?
Psychology has probably got something.
Shut up, I was going to.
Oh no, so was I.
And I agree.
I do in my spare time. Like I research stuff and have a big psychology book that I'm slowly reading, but it's nearly due back at the library, so I need to renew it.
Okay, on that note, my mum studied to be a psychologist. She did 4 years of it. Well, here's the thing. She did 3 years of it. Again, when she was like in her early 20s. She was studying at a university over in the eastern states, and at the end of the 3rd year, their professor took them in and said, I hope you all realize that by the time you get out into the field, 9 out of 10 of you will be on this same couch.
Yep.
She quit there and then. She didn't want to be in that position.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Admittedly, now these days, by law, a psychologist has to accept therapy sessions from another psychologist, which it does make sense when you think about it.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. But that's the thing. Being a psychologist is a very taxing job. They deserve a lot more credit than they get.
Yep.
Nonetheless, we're not talking about that. We're talking
No,
about
we're talking
cybernetic augments.
Augmentations.
So what I was saying, I can study to do all of those and just retain that. What if I had to take augments for all of those? What if the augments clashed? What if suddenly you have, for instance, when, say on a car, you install two pieces of equipment that don't work together? What then happens? So it becomes a thing of, for instance, what
I don't know
if
you guys actually heard that on the live stream. I don't know how that works.
the Facebook notification
Yeah, I
you
got
got?
a Facebook notification. I don't
Possibly.
know if the live stream actually hears it. Maybe. Yeah.
Nonetheless, that's the thing. What if suddenly you have... Because then, what if you can't handle getting another augment? Because essentially then, you know how these days...
Would you choose iOS augment or Android augment?
Dude, seriously.
Yeah.
That's a real thing.
Yeah.
That's what could happen. And that's the thing. Okay, two things. One, you would then have companies vying for whichever control. It depends on how quickly law jumps into it. Because right now, you have what's called the... I can't quite remember the name for it. But you know WWW? World Wide Web?
Yep.
That is controlled by a specific company that runs law for a kind of universal system for the internet. So there's certain laws that browsers have to go by and certain sites have to go by to be up and eligible to be on the web. And so that's the thing. That only came about because when the internet first started, that wasn't around.
Yeah.
It was a case of a specific man said, hey, all these coding scripts are completely different. Let's just go by a universal basis. You can have different codes, but they have to go up to these standards.
Yeah.
How long would it take for someone to do that with augments? And by that point, you could you have Sony augments, Android augments, Apple augments that don't work with each other, but then say you have one job and another job and you need one of each.
You would literally be a walking brand.
Yeah. That's the thing.
Damn.
And so
I'd rather be like, if I were to have one, I'd rather have one done by like someone like Elon Musk, which isn't branded per
but
se.
could you afford it?
Probably not. I probably couldn't afford
then
any
you're
of the
also-
augments. But
then you're also
I would
looking
much
at it.
rather have something from him as opposed to something from Apple, and then people from Microsoft or whatever trying to buy my support by like, hey, we'll give you this and it's compatible and all that stuff. Whereas if it's just by an independent person, they're not branding it per se.
But what if you then look at the fact that it is like a regular smartphone today? What if the most expensive one is the best one, but you can't afford it, so you just fork out for a cheaper one that has some bugs in it? Or what if, say, the most expensive one, like Apple, is not even that good, but it's the most
Take
expensive one,
that.
so everyone gets it? That's my opinion on Apple. Apple sucks. Sorry.
We're streaming this.
I'm
on
an Android person.
We're streaming this
Sorry.
on an Android, so
Yeah, true.
But it's going to be
I don't have
edited
that
on,
much
but it's
against
going to be edited
Apple,
on a
but
Mac.
whatever. Yeah, exactly.
The audio is going to be
Case
edited
in point.
on a Mac.
Yeah. Nonetheless,
Okay, Apple make good products. Like, as much as I don't like their operating system, I can
Oh, yeah.
respect the fact that what they do make is good.
Mm.
It's
some of the hardware, like they have
Same
probably
with
some of the best cameras you can get when it comes to mobile phones, for
yeah,
instance.
like they do make good stuff. It's just
There's good and bad to them. I just
Yeah.
think they're overpriced, and I don't like their products specifically myself. That's just personal choice.
yeah.
It's the main thing of I think they're overpriced. Nonetheless, talking about the augment, so then it's still a case of
We
Yeah.
to an extent
It'd
are
be branded.
already augmented. Like
yeah,
that.
with mobile phones, yeah.
We at this point cannot live without this.
Mm.
Could,
To an extent,
could
yeah.
anyone really? Could a teenager in high school now go a week without this?
Yes.
No, they could not.
No, yes, they can, because, for instance, here's the thing. Technically, with that, he's messing around with a pop socket on my phone.
I don't have one, so it's just
It's handy
fidgety.
as hell.
Yeah.
And yes, it's fidgety as hell too.
Fidgety.
Nonetheless, it is also a case of, for instance, with phones now, Like, I've got a mate, whatever, who his parents restricted technology to the point of he didn't really have a mobile phone. They kept getting confiscated. He always grabbed new ones, that kind of thing, like burner phones, essentially.
Yeah.
But he had to live without one. So they can live without them these days. Would you be able to live without an augment in a future society where they are so important? Suddenly you start to almost give up choice because you need it.
I was just thinking, what if like we become so heavily augmented in the future that the reality that is perceived through the augment is now just the norm of how reality is, and without it, you're seeing an alternate version of reality. Same as when you take drugs. When you take hallucinogenics, you're seeing a version of the world as opposed to when you're not.
Well, then it's also a case of, well, whilst it could do things like fix color blindness, one, you are giving up, if it goes to that far of an augmentation, you're giving up your own perception of reality to a third company. It could get to a point where, say, let's talk conspiracies. Let's say the government backrolls a specific company, and so the reality you perceive and it's not exact. Suddenly, you have brands changing as you go down the highway. Huh?
What if a company had to do a recall?
Yeah. No, that's legitimate though. Like, suddenly so you think it's bad that your airbag will blow up. What about a microchip in your brain?
And they're like, oh yeah, sorry guys, it's a bit, we're having a bit of problems. We need to recall it. So if you could remove it from your brain.
Dude, it is
just get a scalpel.
Yeah, dude, it becomes a very grim future.
Yeah. The people who can't afford it buy black market stuff and try and insert it themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, people would be that desperate to keep up with the trend, to see that version of reality that only the people that could afford it can see.
Augmentation can become a drug.
And as you said, how much is too much? Well, at what point do you not become yourself? You're
at that point,
a machine.
Also think about the fact that suddenly you'd have downloadable drugs if you had augmented reality. Because you could augment all your senses. You could augment what you see, and so you could download acid.exe.
What if one drug was just effects? Seeing the world now without the augmented? Like, that's drug, like a nostalgia drug. Like, we're just so heavily augmented that, like, a drug is to be able to see what it was like without it. As like a rush of, like, I felt things, not mechanical, like, but like organic.
What if suddenly, what if a common thing, again, terms and conditions, what if one thing is you see like a little health bar? So you know how healthy you are, and you have no choice but to have that. What if a drug is just getting away with even the smallest things? What if, again, just having, because you get a certain, depending on the camera you use, it can be a little different. What if you have a specific augment, so the colors you see are slightly crisper? What if you took it off and you go, wow? That kind of thing.
A 4K eye augment and everyone's in their 8K. Like, oh, but I can't afford
that. That can become a thing.
Yeah.
And so, okay, there's a lot here to unpack. But going back even further, I'd still like to bring up the point, where do you draw the line between being human and being not? Because that would become such a thing.
Well, but then we have to go into what defines human.
What I'm saying is, well, yeah.
We have to define that. But this would be good for, like, just a solid episode. Like, just what
we could do a solid episode on
next
this
week?
Whole thing.
What defines
possibly.
What defines a human?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Tell us if you want us to go over that.
Yes. Also.
Or if you want to hear more altered carbon.
Yeah. So we found out, starting on Monday, there was a new show here at DRN1 that does pop culture, news, and reviews. Pretty much kind of like what we do, but we do, I think, things better.
Bad.
Okay, yeah, we
stop talking about other shows.
We haven't. I know, but
you're both promoting them and also talking shite about them, so stop.
I don't like competition.
Stop.
But anyway, we've been talking for about an hour and a half. As much as I do wish to continue this, I do kind of need to go to the toilet because of that coffee.
Damn it, I really wanted to talk about...
We'll finish it. Say what you want to say.
Okay,
just go for it. I can hold it.
All right, at this point, what do you find... Okay, if you could be augmented so much, how about this? What do you define the difference between AI and human life?
Self-awareness. But then how can you tell you're self-aware?
And no, I'm saying, what if you augment so far that you augment your brain? What if, even less than a stack, what if an AI has self-awareness? It's still technically considered an AI because you can get, we're close to, very intelligent AI now.
Yep.
And what if you have a robot that acts like a human, has self-awareness, and then you have someone who's just augmented themselves so far that they only have their consciousness in the body. Even the brain is mechanical. They just have the replicated brain waves of their original body. What's the difference between the robot and the augment?
It'd be next to nothing.
But is there? Because then are you also talking about a soul? But then would the AI have a soul? And with those kind of questions, how about we just drop it here and we can honestly really get back into this?
Yeah, like we'll actually do some research. Okay, for the next week, I will actually look into this and write a bunch of stuff down, so that way we genuinely have questions and theories and what exactly a lot of stuff to talk about. Because this would be really cool to continue going into. And yeah.
Nonetheless, we do need to wrap it up. He needs to pee.
Sorry.
I am sweating in here, and we've been going for an hour 20.
I'm wearing a hoodie.
Yeah.
There's a Bing Tang single underneath it. Oh, I already said that for the people watching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, for everybody listening, everybody watching, we'll be back again next week, same as always.
Yep.
If you're watching this on Instagram, you'll be able to see it on the story, which
will be
on 3TO and
putting it up on
everywhere.
Facebook. Yes. Even Pornhub.
If you're, hopefully.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this,
we'll talk to
you'll
you.
also hear it as our podcast that
Yes.
Round 1 releases. And yeah, it's kind of just same old, guys.
Yeah. Hope
We
you
need to
guys
wrap
have a
things up.
Great week. Continue to be the beautiful people we know you are to be. And yeah, we'll see you next week.
Catch you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
Guys.